Hey, Rylan Kaya. When I put together your work for home, I didn't realize that our first thing was a test. So you can do it if you want. I'll give you some extra credit if you feel like it. If you don't want to do this, we will do it when we get back to school. So you can forget about the one that says assessment on top. We're not going to do that at home. So put that one aside. And I did put in a daily timing for you. You don't have to time yourself. I do want you to practice this stuff though. There's some multiplication, but there's also some addition, subtraction, I think, in the next couple weeks. So you can do probably most of this page, because remember, you can do times tens, you can do times ones, you can do times threes because you just add one more than the times twos, right? You can do times twos. You know the 9 trick if you can remember how to do that. You can do times fives and times zeros. So you can do almost all of them on this page. And then the ones you don't know how to do out of your head, I'm fine if you use a calculator or do the count by fours like we've done at school. So I want you to do this, take a picture of it and send it in to me. Lesson. I sent home a folder with the exact same thing that I brought home. It had one of these and one of these for every day, and then it had some scratch paper too. And I wanted you to have the graph paper at home because I want you to line up your stuff when you're doing your adding and subtracting and multiplying, okay? So use this too. And I would like to see your scratch paper when you hand things in. I like to see the work that you've done. Or if something's tricky, I like to know what was tricky so we can go back and practice it, okay? So just like usual, I'm going to teach you on side A. You do not have to do side A. I don't even want to see this. I want you to do side B and then take a picture of it and hand the picture in, okay? And if that's tricky, you can just hand all the papers in to me when we get back to school. But I think you can probably figure out taking a picture of it with your iPad. And if you can't, let me know. You know how to email me. We practice that. So let's go. Side A says, draw a 9 centimeter line segment. So somewhere in your house, if you can find a ruler, I don't think you're going to have to do it on your side of the page from what I can tell. But if you need it, I'm going to remind you, each one of the littler measurements is centimeters, right? And each one of the tiniest lines on the centimeter side are millimeters. Remember that? 10 in every centimeter. But we're doing 9 centimeters this time. So line the first measuring mark up with a dot. Go all the way out to 9 centimeters, make a dot. Hold it all the way across and draw a line. Okay, measure this line segment using centimeters again. Line it up with the first measuring mark and it looks like it's right at 5. Number 1 says, each child in Miss V's class had 3 pencils. There are 7 children in the class. Draw a picture to show the children's pencils. I wish I had gotten a highlighter out. Tomorrow I'll try to remember a highlighter. So, each child has 3 pencils. There are 7 children. Even though they put it in words, that was an important thing. So you'll have to train your brain to look for number words also, okay? They were trying to trick you a little bit by putting that in words. There are 7 children in the class. Draw a picture to show the children's pencils. So let's make piles of pencils, okay? We need 7 piles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, just barely fit that in. Each child has 3 pencils. So you can either do 1, 2, 3, or you can put a number 3 in each one to show that each pile has 3 pencils. Okay? How many pencils do the children have all together? That means we got to figure out how many there are in total, right? Now, we have 7 groups of, remember what of means? Of means multiply. 7 groups of 3, right? Now, we know this is 3 groups of 7 too. So let's figure that out. You can either count up here, or you can go 7 plus 7 is 14. You can do 7 plus 7 plus 7. Or if you did the 14 part in your head, you can do 14 plus 7. And that's going to be 3 groups of 7. And you can either count with your fingers, or we could do it on paper like this. Okay? Either way, they have 21, and what were we counting? 21 pencils. Number 2. Ooh, we're gonna read a Venn diagram. I don't think we've done this year. All right, use the Venn diagram to answer the questions. I'm gonna come over and read this in just a second. Let's read it now. So this is sorting out letters, and we're gonna talk about letters with parallel line segments and perpendicular line segments. Now remember, parallel goes side by side and it doesn't cross, and it doesn't look like it's going to cross. It's just side by side like railroad tracks, right? Perpendicular line segments are like a T, or like a plus sign, or like the corner on a square. Perpendicular line segments have a square angle in them somewhere. Or they could be this, or they could be this. Okay, but they have that square angle, that right angle. Parallel line segments are like the 2 L's in parallel. Side by side, never cross. Now let's go over here. Oh, wait, we forgot to talk about this part. Parallel line segments. So the 2 straight lines in an M are parallel. The 2 straight lines in an N are parallel. And the top and bottom line in the Z are parallel, right? Perpendicular line segments. Let's talk about this side. The L comes to a right angle. The T has 2 right angles. Now these in the middle are where the 2 circles cross. And that means they have both parallel, because they're in this circle, and perpendicular, because they're in this circle. So these right here are special because they have both. If you ever see something outside of circles, it's not in either one, that means it doesn't have either of these things. Okay? So let's read the question. Which letters on the graph have only parallel line segments? So only parallel. So we're going to look in this circle, but we can't include the perpendicular because it said only parallel. We can only include this part of the circle. M, N, and Z. Okay. Which letters have perpendicular line segments but not parallel? So only perpendicular is what they're talking about here, right? Not parallel. So we go to the perpendicular side, but we can't include the stuff in the middle. Not parallel. So it's only T and L. Which letters have both parallel and perpendicular line segments? So now we're talking about the stuff in the middle, the ones with both. E, F, I, and H. rounding. Now, I don't think you have your little rounding roller coaster, but if you need it, I'm going to show you real quick. Let's see. Oh, crumb, this isn't the right one. This one. Remind me, where is it? There it is, 26. Okay, this guy's what I'm talking about. So we're rounding 57 and 12. And I'm not going to have a dry erase marker here, I just realized. But remember, if the number in the middle is 57, it's between 50 and 60, right? So it's between 50 and 60. And we look at the 7. Let's get a piece of paper over here anyway. We look at the 7 to know if it's going to go to 50 or to 60. And when we look at the 7, it's greater than 5, isn't it? So 5 goes down to 60. You can draw yourself a little roller coaster if it's helpful. Count by tens at the bottom and put your little 5 on top if it's a good reminder for you. Okay? Otherwise, see if you can picture this. You've been working with this for a few weeks now. So 57 went to 60, right? 12. Let's do a roller coaster with 12. So when we count by 10, 20, 12 is between 10 and 20, right? We hit it right away. It's right after 10, but it's before we get to 20. So we're going between 10 and 20 with 5 on top. So we look at the 2. Does 2 tell us it's greater than 5 and it should go this way? Or did 2 not even get up to the 5 yet? 2 is less than 5, isn't it? So we're going back down to 10. $60 plus 10 is 70. 43. Sorry, my dog is chewing on a bone in the background, so you're going to hear that. So 43 is between 40 and 50, and the 3 tells us to go down to 40. 21 is between 20 and 30, and the 1 tells me it's closer to 20. 40 plus 20 is 60. Mitch. Shh. Okay. Double the value of these coupons. So what does double mean? Double means multiply it by 2 or add it to itself, right? So instead of just a 30-cent coupon, we have 30 plus 30. Or you could also do 30 times 2. Okay? So let's do it both ways. We're going to get the same answer if we did it right. So if we double 30, now we're doing plus this time. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 3 is 6. We get 60 cents. I haven't taught you to do this, but I'm going to show you anyway. Ready? 2 times 0, anything times 0 is 0, right? Now 2 times 3, 3 and 3 is 6. We get the same answer, and we will start doing these bigger multiplication problems soon. But we got to get your multiplication facts down really well first. 30 plus 30 was 60 when we doubled it. Now 25 plus 25. Double 25. 5 plus 5, 10, 1 up, 0 down. 2 plus 2 is 4, and 1 more is 5. And you know that because we practiced when we're counting by 25s. 25 plus 25 is 50, right? 25, 50, 75, $1. Okay. Eight dimes, 16 pennies equals 9 dimes, and how many pennies? So if you need to get some coins out at your house, that's just fine because this is a tricky thing. But we're going to do some trading. So a penny is worth 1, right? And a dime is worth 10. And we have 16 pennies, so we can take 10 out, right? If you can see those tiny little letters or numbers that I'm doing. 16 take away 10 is 6. Now we have 6 pennies. And we're going to take this 10 and we're going to add on 1 dime because a dime is worth 10. We can add on 10 cents too, but that's what dime, right? So now we have 9 dimes, 8 plus 1, 9 dimes. And how many pennies do we have? 16, we took out 10, now we have 6 pennies. This is a tricky thing. We will practice this lots of times. Okay, find the answers. Transfer it over to, I'm gonna get a new piece of paper. That is the reason I send home loads of paper for you. Because I always prefer if you do your scratch work on graph paper. Keep your head organized and do your work on paper. Okay. First one is 49 plus 33. 9 plus 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 plus 3 is 7, and 1 more is 8. And we're reporting this in cents, so 82 cents. The next one is 57. Take away 29. Oh, I noticed something. I'm not going to put the cents on right away. We'll do it in our answer. What do you notice about this 9 and this 7? Bigger bottom. You got to borrow. Go to the neighbor, borrow 1, and bring it home. 17, take away 9 is 8. 4, take away 2 is 2. Now one thing, since I didn't send your math journals home, if you need to Google like hundreds chart or something like that, you can certainly do that. Go ahead and Google that. Leave it open on your Safari and use that if you need it, okay? Or if you need to use a calculator, use a calculator and check your work, that's fine. Or check on the things that you're unsure of. 68 plus 52. Okay, we're adding. 8 plus 2, 10, carry the 1. 6 plus 5 is 11, and 1 more is 12. Now, we're reporting this as cents, right? 120 cents. That's fine. If you would like to make it $1.20, because that is also true, you can do that too. Because when you take out 100, it means $1. And when you have 100 cents, it means $1. Last one, 73, take away 41. Do I have to borrow? Nope. 1's not bigger than 3. I can just subtract. We got an easy one, guys. 3 take away 1 is 2. 7 take away 4 is 3. And we're reporting it in cents again. 32 cents. Oops, I didn't transfer this one over. And 28 cents. So what I'd like you to do, watch this video. You do not have to do anything on side A, but if you want to take notes on side A when we do our videos together, you can. You don't have to send me side A. I want you to use side A. Remember, you can always use side A to help you. And the video if you need to watch it again. You can always use side A for help. Now, I want you to hand in a photo of side B when you get it done. If that's a tricky thing and you're not able to figure it out, let me know. But what I'd like you to do is do side B, hand in a photo. If we can't do that, we'll just hand in our papers when we get back together again. But I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.